I caught the superintendent of police lying in court and shattered his credibility. When I was going through law school, I was serving summons after hours to make some extra money. I went to this one house where the father of the defendant was particularly aggressive, but my instructions were to drop the summons on anyone over the age of 16 at the address, as the matter related to a motor vehicle accident and the defendant's driver's license was registered to that address. The father was a really big and nasty man and was very angry and refused to accept the document, so as directed I dropped it at his feet. I went into the office the next day and swore an affidavit of service detailing exactly what he had said and what I had done and how I had served the document. 2 days later I was arrested and charged with swearing a false affidavit. The father of the defendant was a superintendent of police and followed up on my document service and swore a complaint that it was false and that I had not left anything at his property. So what was looking like becoming my word, a baggy-ass law student/process server against that of a superintendent of police, in court was looking pretty grim for me. Because this was a felony, there was a committal hearing in a lower court where the police and the superintendent gave their evidence. My lawyer suggested that there was no point in us trying to give any evidence and get the matter thrown out in this hearing, as it stood practically no chance given their evidence. So my day in the district court soon came in front of a 12-person jury. Since the committal hearing where the super had sworn in evidence that I did not serve him with anything and that I did not drop the document at his feet, as I swore that I had, the matter of the son's summons had come up in court itself and the super had attended, telling the court that he had no idea where his son was and that the summons had been illegally served and criminal actions were proceeding against the process server. To my day in court it had been 4 months since he swore that I had not left anything at all with him, sworn in both the committal hearing and sworn in evidence in another court. He was very experienced in giving evidence and I could all but see a hangman's noose in front of me. Just kidding, it was not a capital offense, but I could have gone to jail for a few years. So my barrister innocently asked him, "Superintendent 30, how did you know to go to court on your son's behalf on 30 date?" Astonishingly he replied, "It was printed on the summons that Mr. White threw at my feet." WTF, that is exactly what I had sworn in my affidavit of service to have done. There were a number of other less relevant conflicts in his evidence too. I guess once you start lying you soon trip over. The judge was shaking his head as he summed up to the jury by saying, "Gone are the days that you can trust what a policeman tells you is the truth, and at best Superintendent 20 is unreliable, and at worst, it is he that is the perjurer and liar. Now please go out and consider the fate of Mr. White, whether you think he is guilty or, as I strongly suggest, that he is not guilty." The jury must have had a cup of tea, because 15 minutes later they were back with a not guilty verdict and I got a rare award of costs against the police. Superintendent 20 retired from the police force the next day.